Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 17th of September. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director of Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is the weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. So this week we have Dicker Data, Cleantech Holdings, Afterpay, Super Retail and Brainchip. So if you have a request, send it through. Make sure you've signed up to our free newsletter. If you enjoy these videos, we'd love you to share them on social media and even leave us a review on Google or Facebook. Remember, my core business is portfolio management and getting directly involved to help investors just like you. So if you're interested in that, please let me know. And of course, any advice here is general only. So this is a daily chart of Dicker Data. So, after that initial fall in early June, it's generally traded pretty well. We've seen some impulsive moves up. The moves back have been fairly corrective, and it's slowly made progress, higher highs, higher lows. In terms of most recently, this was a pretty good move yesterday on volume. So after sort of easing back, it's then sort of popped up here. So it looks like it's on the move again. Breaking that $8 region, I think, would be a better sign. If we could see it sort of pop through here pretty quickly, then it's likely just to go through this old high. And I think that if you were to take this one up as a trade, I think clearly there's some resistance. There's some support just here at this week's low. So that's where I'd be placing a stop. Okay, with Cleantech, so we can see in the last couple of weeks it's had a massive couple of days, profit taking, but it hasn't come back too much. So it's actually just sort of fallen only really for a couple of days, and then it's stabilized here. So that's, it's a good sign. So the chart's looking not too bad. If we go to a weekly, what we can see is, so where we had the low here in the previous high, we could see that it's broken that. So the downtrend does appear to be over. But then we've also got a lot of resistance here at sort of near 40 cents. So, it may well go sideways for a bit. I'd like to see it sort of crack 40 cents first, and then I think there's an opportunity. Okay, with Afterpay, I think the chart's actually looking pretty good here. So, like most of these tech stocks, what it's done is it's it did rush up there at the end of August and had the heat come out of it, but it's just come back to this trading range across sort of July, August. So, we had this basically this consolidation here. So it's just come back to retest that, and we can see that it's done a nice retest of that $70 region, and it does look to be on the move again. So I think as long as it sort of holds this $70 region, may well be weak in the next day or two. But it looks like there's good support there, and I think it wants to go and retest that August high. So I won't be surprised if at some point in the next few weeks or so we see it trying to retest this high. So Super Retail, I like the look of this trend since the March low. So just a nice steady increase, and then a tight consolidation, and then it gapped up basically above this peak and then continued to run. So all looking pretty good. At the moment it looks like we're seeing another consolidation here, basically in the form of a flag. And then just in terms of what it's done in the last few days, it looks like it's ready to resume that trend. So looks like this flag's potentially over, and we should see a resumption of the uptrend. Finally, Brainchip. So this one's become, I guess, fairly popular in the last couple of weeks. It's jumped on a lot of people's radar. Look, in terms of what it's done since, since say about June, I think the trend had a period where it was fairly sustainable, even though it went up, about 3 times. So we're seeing, an impulsive move up followed by a long sort of flat consolidation. And but then, of course, at the beginning of September, it just went a little bit crazy and shot up quite a bit, so the heat's coming out here, obviously a bit of profit taking. I think that it'll settle down, so in terms of the next entry point, we just need to see it settle down. Most likely that'll be under the 40 cent mark, and it might just use up a bit of time, and then I think once it's sort of hovering back around these sorts of levels here, before it went a little bit too silly, then that may well open up a buying opportunity at some point. Okay, well that's all for this week. As always, if you have requests, send it through. I'll try to include your stock for you.